Flourless pies and tarts are made without using conventional wheat flour, and they have their own set of guidelines and are delicious. I'll kick things off with a raspberry clafoutis. This is a French classic dessert. Then with the basics covered, I can move you into a flourless pear and cranberry pie, a traditional fruit pie. After that, you'll be ready to take on the challenge of an elegant dessert, a flourless French apple tart. And this has a flourless shortbread crust. For a little something extra, I'll make date and cheddar shortbread with apple pie preserves. But let's start with the basics, raspberry clafoutis. This is a classic French dessert, and it's essentially a tart meets a custard. And it's a good place to start becoming comfortable with cooking and baking without flour. So I'm going to measure half a cup of ground almonds. And to this, I'll add a quarter cup of regular granulated sugar and a quarter cup of packed light brown sugar. Another ingredient that's often featured in desserts made without using wheat flour is cornstarch. And that helps bind and thicken things as they bake. And that replaces the proteins or glutens that are in wheat flour. So this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. I'll just give this a little whisk to combine it, and then grab my eggs. Eggs are another common ingredient that are important in baking without wheat flour because eggs have protein within them, and of course the yolk lends richness. So this recipe calls for 2 whole eggs, as well as 2 egg yolks. And part of that additional richness comes from whipping cream, a full cup of it. And it's the addition of the whipping cream that really takes a clafoutis into that realm of a custard-style dessert. I'll just whisk this all together. So now I'll pour this into my pie plate. It's been lightly greased and I have it on a baking tray. Here we go. And the last element is simply fresh raspberries, a cup of them, and I'll just scatter them over the batter so they'll bake and set into the clafoutis as it bakes in the oven. So this bakes in a 375 oven and takes about 30 minutes. It'll soufflé up, but don't worry, when you pull it from the oven, it immediately collapses. That's supposed to happen. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I love how a good clafoutis gets that golden brown around the outside edges. The finishing touch is a little bit of icing sugar on top, and you want to serve this while it's still warm. And I portion it just like I do any fruit tart. It is delicate because of those eggs. You get that crust-like layer at the bottom, but it really is a custard-like filling through the top.
Thanks for watching Oh Yum. Keep an eye on this channel for plenty of delicious recipes and more.